Well, we've got this GT500 spoiler straight from eBay, and aside from being a little bit dirty now, I have to say it looks very good. But the question remains, should you be getting eBay modifications for your Mustang? Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So in today's video, I want to talk about something that's been a very hot topic, especially with the wide variety of aftermarket parts available on Amazon and eBay that are not from your typical reputable shops. They're like pretty much no-name shops that are building these replica parts off of the Mach 1, the GT500. Should you be doing eBay performance mods or cosmetic mods on your Mustang? Now the answer kind of differs a little bit, so I want to break this video into two different parts. We're going to talk about the cosmetic parts first, and then we're also going to be talking about the performance parts, which are obviously not, because I feel like the answer for both of these is a little bit different, so it's not one universal answer that I can give you that yes or no. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. Let's start off with the GT500 spoiler that I actually got from eBay, which prompted this question because as I was getting it, I was kind of hesitant to buy something off of eBay for my Mustang. Alright guys, so here is the eBay special GT500 spoiler that I have on my 2019 Mustang GT, and honestly I've had it for a few months now, and so far it has held up really good. It's gone through a couple car washes. There hasn't been any paint peeling or adhesive coming out or anything like that. So far the build quality, the paint quality, I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it. No issues really. I have an in-depth review of the spoiler as well on my channel, so if you guys are interested in that, you can check the link in the description. I'll also leave a link in the description for the exact spoiler I got and where I got it from, so if you guys do want to get something eBay on your Mustang, whether you've got the GT or the EcoBoost, you can check it out and buy it from the link. Now with the cosmetics, two things you really have to be careful is it gonna hold up? You know, what's the build quality like, and what the paint is like, so especially if you're getting something that's not gloss black, because gloss black is a little bit easier to paint it over. But if you're getting, like if I was getting the spoiler body match with the race red of the Mustang itself, then I don't know if I would truly trust the ability to paint match it perfectly where it would blend in with the race red exterior of the Mustang. But since I got the gloss black, which is a universally common color, it's a little bit easier to get it painted and have it kind of match with the deck lid and of course the roof, because you really can't mess up gloss black color. So I think in terms of the color, I am pretty impressed. It looks really good. There was a couple overruns on the paint, but that is like underneath this portion, so you can't really see it. Otherwise the paint, whatever you're gonna see, looks really good. What about the build quality? That's another thing that you have to be careful if you are getting something off of eBay in terms of cosmetic part. Like honestly, the build quality is very good. Everything lined up perfectly. No issues in terms of the adhesive. Adhesive isn't as strong, so I would recommend, if you're installing this yourself, maybe use the 3M tape as opposed to whatever they provide you. It gets the job done like mine has, but I've heard some people having issues down the line. So those are the two common things. You know, you got to pay attention to the build quality, you got to pay attention to the paint quality of these things. And like I said, I think if you're getting something gloss black or matte black, those are very hard to mess up, and you will be okay with going with some of the eBay parts, because the reality is this spoiler would have cost me $600 if I went OEM quality, and this one was like $100 or some change. So for saving almost $500, in my opinion, it's completely worth it, because the quality of the OEM can't be that much better to justify $500 extra. Same goes for the front splitters too. I am looking into replacing the front splitter on my Mustang, and I've been eyeing a lot of options, and most of the front splitters are around $100 or so on eBay and Amazon. But if you were to get them from American Muscle, CJ Pony Parts, and on any of those OEM, or if you get the Ford Performance one, they'll run you close to $400 or $500 for a decent quality set of front splitter. So I think as far as cosmetic parts are concerned, you are okay as long as you're getting something gloss black or matte black. I don't see any issues with that. You get to save a lot of money, and the reality is, unless it's a show car, you really won't be able to tell the difference between an OEM versus a replica version off of eBay, or at least not enough to justify the price increase. You'll be able to, like, I think if you're putting them side by side, holding them, you might be able to tell. But if it's a daily driven car that's gonna get some scratches, that's gonna get dirty and all of that stuff, No one's gonna be able to tell that. Me personally, I would suggest saving that money instead of going OEM, unless you have the money to blow. Saving that money, putting it towards the performance mod. That brings us to the second point. What about the performance mod off of eBay for your Mustang? And that is where it gets tricky. You see, the reality is that eBay has got a lot of performance mods for the Mustang, for a bunch of other cars. But the thing is, they're not really tested. They're not universally tested. They're made to the cheapest MSRP or cheapest price they can put them out for. If you really care about the car, I would suggest you don't get any performance mods from eBay for your Mustang. So as most of you guys do know, I did lower my Mustang GT on Steeda Sport Progressive Springs, which has really improved the stance of the Mustang. I think it looks amazing. It sits really nicely. And these springs were around $250 or so. eBay does sell these lowering springs as well for the Mustangs. And the cost for most of those springs is around $150, $180. You can even get them as cheap as $120, $130 if there's a sale going on. And there's a reason, because I feel like the R&D that goes into these springs, it's not worth compromising the quality of that, because the suspension is really handling everything on your car. You're going to experience the bumps. With these eBay manufacturers, there's not that much quality control, so to speak, so they're just making them as fast as they can, cranking them out. It's not being tested, especially most of them are coming from China. Most of them don't have Mustangs over there, so they're not even testing specifically for those vehicles. They're just sending the parts out to probably US, having one or two customers test it out, sending them back, and just kind of making tweaks and just shipping them out. And like I said, for the price difference, I mean, the lowering springs, you can get them for around $250 or so, like a really reputable brand like Steeda. You can even get the iBox one for $300. My opinion, paying maybe $50, $70 less to get the eBay springs, which, believe it or not, most people have said who have gone that route, said their ride quality is pretty much unbearable. It's gotten really stiff. The stance is pretty much the same because it doesn't lower it that much, but the quality of the springs isn't nicer. So basically, you kind of compromise on the quality of the springs, which makes your ride quality very harsh, and especially if you daily drive it, good luck with that. Now, suspension is one thing, but I know a lot of people talk about getting colder intakes, long tube headers, and those kind of things. The performance mods from eBay for your Mustang, and that is, in my opinion, a big no-no. Like, all these companies that are selling these long tube headers, they're not on eBay, basically. Any of those reputable brands, basically, they do tons of testing to perfect their product for our Mustangs, to make sure everything kind of works. And all the tuning companies work with those products as well, just to make sure everything works perfectly fine. But with these eBay performance mods, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. While those mods, you will be able to save a good bit of money up front, it will cost you in the long run, because let's be honest, no company overseas is going to be able to really perfect long tube headers, colder intake for your Mustang GT. In my opinion, any money you save up front on those, you're going to be paying a lot more to getting your car fixed, and that to me is just not worth it. I would rather save up a little bit extra and get the mod from a reputable dealer with a reputable tuner, because a reputable tuner is more than likely has worked with that part, so even if there's issues, they can help diagnose it. But if it's straight from the eBay, they might be able to tune for it, but if there's any issues, you're pretty much out of luck. So guys, there you have it on if you should be doing eBay mods on your Mustang. I think for cosmetic mods, it's fine as long as you know what you're getting into. There might be little imperfections, but I think if you're sticking to matte black or gloss black finishes, you should be fine. If you're getting something paint match, I would just make sure whatever seller you're going with, make sure it has good reviews and actually has done a quality job to be able to get something that's perfectly paint matched. Now for the performance mods, that to me is a big no-no. I think the amount of money you save getting lowering springs, colder intakes, or long tube headers for your Mustang is just not worth dealing with the hassle later on. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you smash that like button and comment below if you have done eBay mods, how have they turned out for you, and of course subscribe to Red 50 for more videos.